Okay, so we're going to charge a lipo battery. Here we have a Turnigy 2.2 amp hour 3S lipo battery, 2.2, and it's got a little dot next to the 3-cell 11.1 volts, so you know that this is a 3-cell battery. The other way you can check is there should be 4 wires here for a 3-cell battery. So what we're going to do first of all is put the settings into our charger here. The setup that we've got here is what's known as a Quattro. It's got 4 chargers built into one. So we're going to use charger number 1, and the first thing that we notice is all the settings are completely wrong. So here it says we're charging a NiCad battery. We're going to change that to a lipo. This button here, battery type, we're just going to keep pressing that until it says lipo battery, and then we're going to hit start just to accept that. Now we want to make sure that it says charge. We can change that by cycling through the arrow keys on status here. We can just change that until we get to charge. Now this battery is a 2.2 amp hour battery, so we can charge this at 2.2 amps. So here it's 1.2. We're going to press start once until it starts flashing, and we're going to increase that to 2.2 amps. So now we're at 2.2 amps. This is now showing a 6S battery. We have a 3S battery, so we're going to change that to 3S. So we're going to hit start one more time, and we're going to reduce that to a 3S battery. And then we're going to hit start. So we're not charging the battery just yet, so we've got the battery here. I'm going to follow the cables into this battery box here, and then I'll also notice that these cables here are connected with the red zip tie and with a blue bit of shrink wrap down here. So this is the balancer that we're looking for, and we'll find it connected with the red zip tie. So we'll look inside now. And so here we have the red zip tie with the blue shrink wrap. So I want to plug into this. So I want to plug into the 3S section here. It's the only connector that I'll be able to plug into is this one. So I'm going to take this connector and I'm going to plug it into here. It only goes one way. Here it goes. Now it's important, once I've connected this, all of these pins here are now live connected to my battery. So if I'm wearing any jewelry like rings, and they touch any of these connectors in here, you will get an electric shock. So it's really important not to be wearing any rings when you're doing this. Then lastly, you can see that this red zip tie is connected to this connector here, and then this is going to be the last connector that we're going to plug in here. So we're plugging that in there, and now we're ready to go. Just really quickly, we're going to double check that we're plugged into the one that's connected to the same zip tie. If we plug this is known as the balance cable. If we plug this into the wrong board, you're not going to be able to charge, and it's not going to let you charge. One last quick note, this little device up here, this is a thermocouple. This is just going to be measuring the temperature inside the box. We're going to close this up, put the latch on, and now that's ready to charge. To charge the battery, we're now just going to hold down the start button until it makes a noise. It will then tell us it can see a 3-cell battery connected, and we've put in 3-cell battery. So we confirm that, we say start, and now we'll start charging. We can really quickly just double check. We have a lipo battery that is a 3S battery. It's currently charging at 2.2 amps, and the voltage in the cell is 12.58 volts. The cutoff will be 12.6, and I'll show you how to check that. It's charging. This is the lapse time of 20 seconds, and this number here is the milliamp hours that it has put into the battery so far. So for a battery of 2,200 milliamp hours, it should be putting in, if you've completely depleted your battery, it should be putting 2,200 milliamp hours in. You can run through these 2 buttons here to check all the settings that you have in here, so you can find what the end voltage is, which will be 12.6. There's a cutoff, it won't put more than 5,000 milliamp hours into the battery. The most important one to just quickly double check is that to make sure that the temperature sensor is working. So that's showing it's 21 Celsius in the box. And the last thing if we do, so that was if we were pressing the left button. On the right button, it now tells us what each cell is doing. So here we can find that each cell is roughly about 4.14 or 4.15 volts. It's really important to make sure that these numbers are close to each other. If they're not close to each other, it means that your cell is that your battery is unbalanced, and you'll need to talk to a demonstrator about how to balance it again. Okay, thanks guys.